Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to another episode where I review affordable school fountain pens. Well, at least they were affordable back in the 1970s. And today, guys, we are going to talk about these beautiful Aurora Aurettas. So, you can see they are in these wonderful colors and they were sent to me as a gift from a seller, and he sent me just the way they are in the original package of them. So they were sold at the beginning of the 1970s, and actually this is the second version of Aurora Auretta. Let me tell you something about how this type of fountain pen came to the market. I will start with a little bit of a history lesson. Of course, Aurora was renowned after the Second World War for its model in the late 50s and the beginning of 1960s for its famous Aurora 88 model, which was inspired by the famous Parker 51. So after the Second World War, Parker 51 was a great hit on the Italian market, but due to the fact that Parker had problems with its distribution, the demand was exceeding the supply of fountain pens. So most of the Italian producers, they adapted their products to be more similar with the famous Parker 51. And so the Aurora 88 was born. It was quite an elegant fountain pen, but quite an expensive fountain pen. And this problem of it being so expensive was solved in the middle of the 1960s, exactly in 1964, when Aurora introduced to the market a student pen that offered excellent writing performance and had a modern styling, but it was also at an affordable price. It was made out of plastic, it had some basic steel trims and a reliable steel nib, and it was targeted for students. The first version in 1964 was offered only in two colors. One was black and the other one was gray. And they were made out of a simple plastic. Those variants you see in front of you today, guys, they are the second variant. And they were brought to the market at the end of 1969 and the beginning of the 1970s, and they were practically an upgrade to the previous variant of the model. The shape remained the same, and in fact I'm going to take one out and show it to you guys. So practically it has the same shape as the other models, but you can see this time it was offered in vivid colors. But not only vivid colors, also the plastic used was a new type of material, and it was more durable and scratch resistant, and was named by Aurora as crack proof. So even on the original pack we can see here anti-crack, and also I believe on the back of it, yes, so infrangible anti-crack, corpo anti-crack. So quite a nice marketing scheme, because guys, this was targeted at school young boys, and it had to be quite durable and quite affordable, because back in those days in Italy, young students had limited budgets, and sometimes they had to pass till they reached their high school with only one pen. So they had to be very careful with it. It's interesting, as you can see, it has this modern 1970s look. On it, we have thermically engraved Auretta. It is a simple plastic cap. I love this ending. It's quite sharp, and it reminds me of the design of pina farina. Okay, quite nice. And you can see the ending of the barrel has this metallic jewel. If we open it, it opens like this. We can see the section. Unfortunately, on this one, we don't have the steel nib on it. It's interesting because it resembles with this 98 model, so Aurora 98. You can see the grip section has the same cut here. Again, this Aurora 98, it is a luxury model, but fitted with a gold nib, but this time it has its gold nib at the repair shop. I just wanted to compare the two models. And it is a perfect school fountain pen. In fact, I believe, yes, that this one has its nib. I will show you the nib. So unfortunately, someone tried to take also this nib off of it. I'm not so sure why, because this is a simple steel nib, but someone tried to cut it using, I'm not so sure, some thermical methods. It's a shame of it. So this is the only one that I have with its original steel nib. You will see that also the green one, let me show you, the green one has also its nib removed. It's a shame, but guys, those were gifts from the seller, so I can't complain that I got them in this shape. As you can see, the green one has also its nib removed. What is quite interesting about those fountain pen is the fact that they are cartridge fillers, and we are talking about the beginning of the 1970s. And back then, guys, the international cartridge as we know it, it wasn't invented yet. So it became an international standard only after it was developed for the famous Pelicano fountain pen. In fact, I have here some three generations of the Pelicanos, and this is the original one in two colors, both with a plastic cap and a metallic cap, and those are the more modern Pelicanos, more variants of the Pelicanos. Why is this important, guys? Let me take the modern ones out of the pictures. So basically, this Pelicano adopted also the ink cartridge. This one doesn't have the ink cartridge. Maybe that other one, the red one, has the ink cartridge, because I want to compare the ink cartridge. Yes, unfortunately this is a little bit stained with ink, but no problem, it will do its lesson. So I'm sorry guys, I want just to compare the two of them. So let me take this out. So look at the two cartridges, guys. This has a metallic ending, and it's interesting because it reminds us of another design, quite interesting and innovative, made by the Italians in those days, and I will show it to you. So it was the design of the duo cart, and I will tell you about it in a few moments. So this is the original cartridge. The Italians were the first that, let's say, invented this modern cartridge. They were closely followed by Pelican, but Pelican did not want to get sued by the Italians, so you can see they changed the ending of the cartridge. Is much more narrower. I hope you can see. And this was my short comparison with the Pelicano, a quite nice competitor back on its days. So it was just fitted with this. Usually this barrel fitted two of those, so they were done in such a dimension that the barrel can fit two of those. And it reminds me of this one. Let me see. Yes, this is an AURORA 888P, which had this system, the duo cart. Basically, it could hold another one here in the same time. But the Auretta didn't use this metallic system. So enough with the comparison with the more modern. So this is the 98, then this is the 888P. I will put them aside. Also, guys, I will put aside the other ones. So I will take only this. I'm sorry, I've stained it with a little bit of ink from the other one. And also I will take the Pelicanos out of the way. Right here, guys, I have another example, another German made school fountain pens from the 1970s, and this is a Geha, an interesting German producer that was targeting the school system, and you can see the same use of this vivid plastic. And also another model from back those days. This was the Geha jeans, so it was clearly targeted for a young audience. So practically, guys, this is the Auretta, the second generation of Auretta from the 1970s. You can see I have them both in this beautiful green and in this beautiful orange. I'm sorry I've stained this orange, but you have an idea about their looks. So quite nice products of the 1970s. Of course, they were followed in the mid-1970s by a third variant that was sold also as with the name of Auretta. This new model featured a different nib and a completely new design, and it was designed to make it easier for ballpoint pen users to transition to the fountain pen, in the sense that the tip of the nib was in the center of the cross section of the pen, like the ball of a big stick pen. So practically, guys, I will leave pictures with the third variant of Auretta, and also I have here some ballpoint pens, typical ballpoint pens of the 1970s. You must know, guys, that in the 1970s it was quite a ballpoint pen revolution, in the sense that those were quite affordable, and the fountain pen industry had to to adapt to the situation, and they tried to develop durable and newer design in fountain pens, but they had to make them quite cheap to afford the competition of the ballpoint pens. Of course, those are two classic Parkers made in the United Kingdom. And I have here the main competitor and the biggest seller of fountain pens. This of ballpoint pens. This is a big ballpoint pen, the classic design. You probably know it, sold by the millions, and of course the main competitor of the affordable Aurettas. Now guys, I've shown you the models I have. Let me put them here. Oh, I'm sorry, what? I think, yes, this is from the Aurora 888P. So now I will leave, of course, their dimensions on the screen, and after that I will try to do a sample with this one. Maybe in time I can fit this nib to the other one that lacks the original nib, but it appears that whoever tried to take it out, although it did this mess over here using some flame, it did not pull this nib out, so maybe it will be a difficult task, but quite a nice task. Maybe this is already ruined, this grip section, and I think that I can ruin it more and just replace the nib here. We will see about that. So I will leave for the moment the other right there. I will show you that we can cap this pen, and certainly I can't use the Pelican international size tip of cartridge, but I can use the other one, which has a bigger hole here. So instead of doing that, I don't want to ruin the old cartridge. I will just simply dip this wonderful pen, and I will show you how it writes. But before we do that, I must clear this one. And of course, guys, before I can do that, I hope that I won't stain the original pack. So I will try to handle it with care. I will take just one of these leaflets and I will hold it just like this. I want to show you what it contains, because these are quite rare. So Auretta, the anti-crack material, it is advertised here. Istruzioni d'uso all'intero. So instructions of use in the inside. You can see we have an F here, and I believe that this is the size of the nib, yes. On the others we have here an M, and the other is also an F. I can see it from here. So this was fitted originally with a fine nib. At the back we have impugnatura, penna scuola, so fountain pen for school, corpo anti-crack, infrangible, so unbreakable, dispositivo blocca macchia, pennino blindo iridio, with the tip of iridium on the nib. And here we have the instructions of use, and I have to translate them from Italian. Istruzioni di uso, instruction of use. A penna nuova, for new fountain pens. Tolto il cappuccino, buttare via il coppipennino provviso in plastica. So I think it had some inner cap here, and this is to throw away. You must know that this came with ink cartridge inside of the barrel, so it was practically ready for use, but you had to insert it. Okay. Per la ricarica, for the recharge with ink. Cartuccia voto via, cartuccia nuovo. So you see that it had two of the ink cartridges in the barrel. Let me see, I'm sorry for my Italian guys, I'm not so good. Svitare, buttare via la cartuccia vuota, poi introdurre nel serbatoio una nuova cartuccia della parte del fondello metallico. Riavviando a fondo si otterrà la perforazione automatica della cartuccia. Come ricarica si può anche usare la cartuccia di riserva contenuta nel serbatoio esterandola e rimettendola capovolta. Se la penna resta inattiva, lavare prima il gruppo portapennino con acqua, non usare solventi. So practically it has instruction how to use a cartridge fountain pen and written in red. So if we don't have initial contact with ink, you can wash the pen with water, but don't use solvents. Okay. So this is the original pack, guys, and it was interesting to show you this pack. I will leave it right over here, and now I will try to use the fountain pen. Before I will use the fountain pen, I will leave its dimensions on the screen and I will change the angle of the camera. So bear with me, guys. I'm changing the angle of the camera. Okay, and then I will try to do the writing sample. So it's okay. I have the pen right over here. I'm sorry, I've just stained it with my my dirty fingers. So I have here a Mont Blanc Royal Blue ink with that in which I will dip this pen like this. So I hope it will hold enough ink for me to do a proper writing sample. So this is an Aurora. The model is Auretta. It was made from 1970 till approximately 1985. So it was produced for approximately 15 years. Okay. This actually is the Auretta model number 2. There are 3 different models, and in fact this was launched, the Auretta line was launched all the way back in 1964 with the model 1 of the Auretta. So Aurora Auretta model 2, what is interesting about this, it is made out of colored plastic and the material is called by Aurora the crack proof. The crack proof or anti-crack. Okay, it is fitted with a semi-hooded nib, a steel nib, and as we can see, it is fitted with an iridium tip. I hope you can see it. So this is the semi-hooded nib. It looks like the other models. that we can see on the Aurora 88P or the newest model Aurora 98 back then. I think that this is an F-nib. It was written on the pack right here, guys, an F-nib, and it writes like an F-nib. Now I am curious to see if we have some flex to it. Let me see. No flex to it, but it definitely doesn't feel like a stiff nib. I'm curious to see the line variance. So here, no pressure, and here I apply a little bit of pressure, and no line variance is visible. It seems to be quite a juicy nib, and you can see it is quite a juicy nib. Maybe I need to dip it again in ink. And now I want to see how it does the signatures. It is quite nice. And now I want to test if we can reverse write with it. Reverse writing. And let me tell you, I'm quite impressed. Definitely a possibility. And I'm impressed because it writes quite smooth, even in reverse. And you can see it is quite nice. It has the same inflow, so quite nice in reverse writing. Let me see what I can do. Yes, I've done the signature, the line variance. Now I can tell you about the fog, so I will try to write as big as I can. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So quite nice. In the end, I felt it scratches a little bit, but this is because it lost its ink flow. I've just used it like a deep pen, but you can see it's quite smooth when it has that ink. I like this very much. It certainly shows that we have a workhorse here. Not only it is an affordable pen, but it does what a school fountain pen should do. So it is a real workhorse. You can write with it, even reverse writing in every position. So this is truly a workhorse, and now I understand why it contributed to the Aurora's success. This is the pride of the fountain pen industry, the Italian fountain pen industry, and it even inspired the famous Pelicano from Pelicans. So this was an innovative product. Another innovative product brought to you by Aurora in these wonderful colors. Well, guys, it was a gift, but you can find Auretta models. I didn't see the Model 2, but I certainly saw the Model 3, which was sold at an affordable price. I believe it was around 20 euros or something like that. So if you want and you can find one in a decent shape, not like mine, I think it would be a color welcome to your collection of fountain pens. So this was my review of the Aurora Auretta Model 2, a wonderful fountain pen from the beginning of the 1970s. Again, with a nice design of the 1970s. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you've enjoyed this review, please subscribe to my channel to support my activity. I want to wish you to have a nice day wherever you are, guys. Bye bye, and God bless.